All right, today is Thursday, May 9th, 2019, day 39 of NoFap. Um, so today I'm feeling pretty normal, um, i.e., like, what I mean is that I'm feeling like I usually do feel um, ever since the NoFap thing started. So today was obviously a good day. Um, but today I want to take a step back and stop praising NoFap and acting like it's just nothing but sunshine and rainbows and all this shit. So I started to think about what are some of the negatives of NoFap. Like the positives are pretty clear if you're doing it. The positives are you're clear, you are able to more easily organize your thoughts and thusly you don't really fear conversation, so you're much more um, loquacious. You're able to engage with people, and you're more confident, and you have more motivation, more enthusiasm, more energy. That's all fine and good, but like anything in life, there's trade-offs associated with um, pretty much any decision you make. You're giving up another decision that just simply can't coexist with the decision that you made. So I'm going to try to think about what are some of the negatives of NoFap today, so that I can kind of preemptively attack them and just remember just remember everything that I say later down the line. So let me just go ahead and think of some negative things. Um, so I mean, I'm in a good mood, and then naturally, when you're in a good mood, you have trouble looking on the downside of things. But I will say that my body is pretty much like doing things on its own for the most part. If you feel like you don't have as much bodily control, I don't know if it's because I'm drinking more water or whatever, but like it's harder for me to make it to the bathroom one time. I mean, I always do it. I'm not gonna piss my pants or anything, but I always find I'm running to the bathroom. There's always some piss trying to get out fast as it can. And that's a stupid it's a stupid negative, but I think that my dick like doesn't work the same way that it used to, um, which is going to lead me into a positive, which is um, much harder, girthier, just much larger erections. Um, but no, I'm not talking about the positives. I'm talking about the negatives. So yeah, like my body just does things. It's like I get sweaty out of nowhere sometimes. Um, yeah, so but yeah, as far as your body's concerned, you definitely have more energy. You can definitely do more. I mean, I don't want to talk about positives. Let me discuss the negatives. Um, I'm sorry. So there's an obvious negative. There's an obvious negative. So the obvious negative is that you're not having sex. And but the thing is, you learn to not consider it a negative over time. If that makes any sense. Um, yeah, you don't really consider it a negative. You kind of start to feel bad for people. You start to kind of see people see people doing things that you used to do, and it's kind of here's like an example. Like, let's say that you were in prison for 10 years because you committed a felony or something. So you went to prison for 10 years, right? And one day you go to the prison and you're looking at all the prisoners and you see a prisoner doing something like, he's just acting a fucking fool. And you're kind of shaking your head at the prisoner through the plexiglass, um, forgetting that you were a prisoner at one point because you've been on the outside. Um, but but yeah, it's kind of like that. Like I see men as slaves to their sexual desire. Because the thing is, I'm a man, and as a man, I try my hardest to understand what is underlying male nature. Like we all have our own ideas of what a man is, but does male nature exist? Of course it does, because female nature definitely exists. So why wouldn't male nature exist? And I think male nature is just that you have crippling sex rage all the time. It's just crippling sex rage, and it's up to every single individual man to come to terms with how he handles his crippling sex rage. Some people are constantly in relationships in order to constantly, have these sexual relationships. Some people are um, like me, like addicted to pornography, constantly trying to express their sexual desire that way. And the minute that you stop like subscribing to any of those things, like the minute that you stop jacking off, and the minute that you stop having sex with women, um, like the minute that you stop having orgasms, period, you learn to control your crippling sex rage, which I think that most men have. Or yeah, I can't sit up here and say that every man is much of a sex addict as I am, um, but I think so. And so that's one negative is that you're not having sex. But over time, you start to see like, damn, what an effect that was having on me. Like, and that's why so many guys that are addicted to pornography can't really get into any serious relationships or find anybody worthwhile uh, for entering into a relationship with. I was just considering this today. Like, I think what women want is they want a challenge. You know, we live in a society that's so stocked to the brim with technology that pretty much puts um, male thirst on public display. You got like fucking Tinder and Bumble, where the woman chooses essentially, and there's new shit that I haven't even seen, like Hinge and Instagram. Instagram thoughts and with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like, if you close your eyes for a second and think about it, like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. If you close your eyes and try to imagine hundreds of thousands of people in a room, you can't, because hundreds of thousands of people can't fit in a room. They can fit in a city, and a city is following an Instagram thought. Technology puts. I thought all this today. Technology puts male thirst on public display for everyone to see. I see the thirst. You see the thirst. Girls see the thirst. Kids see the thirst. Male thirst on public display. And I think that women enjoy challenge so much as far as relationships are concerned, getting into them, because it's just too easy for them right now. It's just too easy for them to get a man. There's like I have a friend who I looked at her Tinder, looked at a friend's Tinder, and she's a cute girl, but like, god damn, she had like 1,500 guys just chilling out in limbo in her Tinder, and I was like, shit, that's not excessive. And she was like, it is what it is. And I'm like, come on, come on, 1,500 guys, something else. So yeah, it's really easy for girls to get guys. So when it's really easy for them and simple, they don't want anything to do with you because you made it easy for them. You didn't make them do anything. Like they didn't they, there was no challenge. And I think that guys aren't giving girls I think that guys aren't giving girls a challenge because of how thirsty they are. And they're thirsty because they're slaves to sex. They're slaves to sex. And I think society in a large part is responsible for that because of, you find sex everywhere. Sex sells so much. You see cheerleaders at the football games. You see Carl's Jr. commercials with like these thoughts eating burgers like they're actually eating them or whatever, even though you know that they're not eating that burger. Why are they even there? Might as well get some like fat hillbilly to go eat that burger at Carl's Jr. because that's more likely what's going to be happening. Not some thought with D cup titties. She's not going to be eating um, fucking Carl's Jr. burger. So you start to see shit like that, and you're like, God damn, there's a lot of sex in this society. Um, I was watching Game of Thrones a couple days ago, and I'm like, this is like an obligatory sex scene. Like, you guys put this shit in here in the most inopportune times. Like, I don't even need to see this shit anymore. Come on, stop selling sex. Stop peddling sex. But yeah, there's a larger social issue, a larger society issue. I will grant, but I feel like pornography is like the if like those Carl's Jr. commercials and those freaking those cheerleaders wearing the short shorts at the Cowboys game are the jets of sex addiction in our society, then pornography I think is the fucking carrier uh, that's holding those jets. like so so yeah. I think that's the aircraft carrier. That's I think porn is huge, and most men jack off every day or every couple of days or every week or every month. And like as a person that's been doing NoFap on and off for like over 6 years now, I can say for sure that if you want to be successful in life, you should probably cut porn out completely. Completely. But yeah, never mind. I wanted to discuss the negatives of NoFap, but there really isn't. You shouldn't be watching porn and jacking off. There's no negatives now that I think about it. I don't even know why I brought that up. That was stupid. Oh, I gotta run to the bathroom because I'm gonna piss. There's no negatives of NoFap. Um, there's the negative, which is like in the beginning you're going to be. There is a negative. Sorry, and there is a negative. The negative of NoFap is that in the beginning it's difficult. That's the negative. That in the beginning it's difficult. I remember day one of NoFap was very difficult for me. And I think that the only reason that I got through that first day without breaking, because I thought about breaking a million times, I was bargaining hard as shit. I was bargaining with myself, which is crazy. Um, I was heading somewhere to do something, and I saw a friend of mine randomly out in the city. He was riding his bike one way down this bike lane, and I was riding my bike one way down this lane, and I was like, "Hey!" And right as we were getting closer and closer, I was in the wrong lane, by the way. I don't follow the rules of bike lanes. I go down the oncoming traffic lane or whatever. Sorry, but we're coming down, and then we high five each other, and I feel like his energy like was enough to get me through that day. That little high five we had on the bikes past each other, that I looked down at my hand, I actually felt something, and I feel like that was the only reason I got past day one. And honestly, with like day one turns into day two, and then day two turns into day five, and then day five turns into week one, and then week one turns into week two turns into 1 month. Like there is a snowballing effect with NoFap. So I will say there's only one negative. Sorry. All the negatives I was talking about before, no, those are not real negatives. The real negative of NoFap is that no matter what, whether you are like a bona fide porn addict like me, or if you just came out of a relationship, or like what have you, the real difficult thing about NoFap, or the real negative thing, is that in the beginning, it is difficult, so difficult in the beginning. Um, those first couple days hurt, like you, because here's why they hurt. The first couple days hurt because you, as a man, have crippling sex rage. Understand that hypergamy exists. Hypergamy for a man is that he wants unlimited sex with unlimited partners. Okay, there's actually cultures in the world where that happens. So keep that in mind, men. There are cultures in the world where that does happen, but unfortunately, Western culture is not one of them. So think of it as fortunately or unfortunately. I don't know. I don't care. But a man's hypergamy is to have as much as have unlimited sex with unlimited partners. And so you do, as a man, have crippling sex rage. I think they say that men think about sex every 7 seconds, and that might be true. Um, it might be true. So you have crippling sex rage. That's why it's so difficult. One, and then also it's so difficult because if you jack off, like even like occasionally, uh, not even an addict, just you occasionally do it. The reason that you do it is because that activity has been reduced to habit. You don't know why you do it. You do it because when you were younger, whenever you had a problem or whenever something stressful happened to you, you went and jacked off in order to make it better, in order to fix the problem. You jacked yourself off, and you kept doing it, and you kept doing it, and you kept doing it until finally it became a force of habit. So in the first few days of attempting NoFap or attempting semen retention, you're going to find that one of your greatest allies for handling stress or difficulty is no longer available. You were running around on two crutches, and now you only got one. The trick is to find that other crutch that you use. That's a constructive crutch, not a destructive crutch. Because I assure you, um, watching pornography and masturbating, PMO, pornography, masturbation, orgasm, is a destructive habit. It's not a good habit to have. It is just not, plain and simple. And it took me a lot of years to figure that out, like for myself, but it is destructive. You are robbing yourself blind. And why would you do that when so many people are already doing it for you? Worth considering. Um, damn, that was damn it, 20 minutes. All right, so anyway, that's enough. Let me go to sleep now. So day 39 down, day 40 coming up. I'm not going to do day 40. I'm not going to do day 40 or day 41. I'm going camping this weekend. So I'll have to remember to do day 42. All right, day 39 down, day 42 coming up.